All right. Happy Monday morning. Welcome to the Scorched Earth podcast for Monday, February 17th, where we're going to recap Daytona. The 500 happened yesterday. And I got to say, it was a pretty exciting race, especially at the end. If you could, though, before we get to that, hit the like and subscribe button. I know you're cool. Be even cooler. Tell us you like us. We need that affirmation. My therapist especially does. And if you could, leave some comments. I might respond to them on the air. So let's go over the Daytona 500. Actually, the biggest race in probably American auto racing. I think it's maybe right a little ahead of the Indy 500. But whatever it is definitely the biggest race on the NASCAR circuit. I've never really understood how the first race is the biggest one, but hey, you don't start out the NFL season with the Super Bowl and go backwards. But, you know, NASCAR's a little different. Okay, we love Daytona. So we started out with a couple rain delays, which is always inconvenient. It does seem like that happens quite a bit in Florida, especially this time of year with the humidity. But, you know, the top story is William Byron. He went from 9th to 1st in the last lap to win his second consecutive Daytona 500. 5th driver to go back-to-back after Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, Sterling Marlin, and Denny Hamlin, who was going for his 4th victory there. Didn't quite get there. He was a threat, though. Austin Cindric on the final lap tried to hold off Hamlin. They got into an errant bump draft, and everybody wrecked. Both of them, Cole Custer. I got to admit, I was pretty impressed by Cole Custer. If you're going to bet Atlanta or Talladega, this might be a long shot to look at. This guy seems to understand super speed racing. You know, there's certain guys, Michael McDowell, this guy knew what he was doing. He just got caught up at the wrong place at the wrong time. And so at the last minute, with half a lap to go, when the crash happened, Byron went through a hole like Moses went through the Red Sea. It just opened up perfectly for him. Everything clicked. He gets the second. I was surprised Tyler Riddick, and then Jimmy Johnson were second and third. One of the weird things about betting on this race, and we'll get to my picks, was that you have a racer. You got the guy. This is definitely the last race I would take the chalk, but be that as it may, you have a racer and you're right there in 4th slot or 3rd slot with 2 laps to go, and literally he finishes 34th. And then whoever wins, you look up on the board and 3 of the top 4 are guys like, God, I thought they were 15th and 20th. It is just crazy how quickly that moves through. It's just, you know, it's always 2 guys you just never really see coming. And let's get to my picks. Let's talk about how pathetic I was. I'm going into the magic envelope. And let me tell you something. When you get picks, put them in an envelope. That way they don't get contaminated by your other bad picks. We got to be superstitious, right? I had Noah Gragson. He got caught up in the second to last crash. I got him at 50-1. I think this guy was a really good pick. He didn't get there. I really like front row sports, especially in the super speedways. Zane Smith got caught up very early. I'm not sure he's quite the driver, but, you know, they're at front row sports. Hey, what are you going to do? Like I said, Zane Smith got caught up. I had Austin Dillon. That was my big pick. I had him at 80-1. And, you know, you win some, you lose some. You know, he was 4th, 6th coming into that last lap, and he just got caught up, and it really didn't happen. I had Ricky Stenhouse, too, at 40-1. Close, but no cigar. Sorry, buddy. It is a race, though, that I would say for the average bettor, you gravitate towards the chalk picks, and the chalk picks are anybody between 10 and 20, 25-1. This is definitely not the race to do that. You want to go to the short tracks or the 1.5 miles where you get a Kyle Larson. And if you can get a Kyle Larson at 8-1, man, that's just money in the bank. I would say that one thing I really wish they did a little more is, top 5 or top 10 for these racers. Expand the betting pool a little. I did see over-unders at the Superbook on, will Ryan Blaney be over or under 23.5? This isn't really that race to do it, especially if you're only at $110. And the reason is because it's just one wreck at the end. Like I said, these guys are in 4th and then they wreck with a lap left and they're 32nd. I mean, it's the kind of thing you pull out what little remaining hair you do have. Going into the booth, never been a big fan of Fox. But I got to say, the devil came home here. I've always thought Clint Boyer was the better announcer. I thought he was much more gracious. I think he sets up Kevin Harvick very, very well. Gives him very nice lead-ins. Kevin's all about Kevin, but I will say I was pleasantly surprised at the banter between them today. And I'm going to tell you another thing I really enjoy is I like when they espouse a theory and it doesn't come through. And they go, I really thought this is... And look, these guys know more about racing than you and I'll ever know, right? I mean, they are geniuses. Kevin Harvick, great race car driver, knows the car in and out, everything. He said some very, very insightful things. And what I really enjoyed from him, especially when we had that wreck at the end with Ryan Preece, he talked about what it was like in the car. Now, most of the time I hear other announcers are like, when you get in a wreck, let the wheel go. Let the wheel go. He said, when I get in a wreck, I hold on to that wheel because it's the only thing I know that's stable. And it's kind of like if you've ever heard big wave surfers, and therein lies the same debate, that they go out to Mavericks or they go out to North Shore or wherever they go, and literally half of them say, I hate the leash, and the others say, I love the leash. And basically the reason is, for some, they don't like the leash because it can tie them down, it can get them stuck on rocks, it can literally strangle them. The other guys are, that leash is tied to the surfboard, and I know the surfboard's going up. I can follow the leash to air. I don't know. But I am really intrigued by this. Do I hold the steering wheel or do I not? And I really enjoyed Kevin Harvick's comments. It was the best. I really thought him and Clint hit a home run. I thought Mike Joy is good. I think he's very, very good at his job. He is incredibly knowledgeable. I thought they did quite a good job talking about Ryan Preece going airborne, and especially Clint talking about the wheelie, because the car kind of got up and cruised across. Honestly, I had never seen it before, but I don't know. Do I just not watch enough NASCAR? I don't know. But when he said it, I thought, well, this must be a pretty unique situation. And it is ironic that Ryan Preece did get airborne in the same area he did in 2023, and they actually paved over the grass so that wouldn't happen again. Unfortunately, it did. I would say this, and I'm about as harsh of a critic of NASCAR as there is. I don't understand why there's any grass on any of these speedways. I don't know what you're doing. Are you running a garden? I mean, it should all be pavement. And if you really like the green, just paint it green, because grass is a problem for these cars. And honestly, NASCAR doesn't give a flying F about the drivers. They don't. They delayed in getting the safety walls. Jeff Gordon almost had to die before they actually go, oh, well, we'll put safety walls on the entrance and exit of pit row. Oh, okay, thanks. Adam Petty. They don't really give a flying F. All they care about is profit, profit, profit. Scott's going to be on this podcast in a couple weeks. He is the NASCAR savant. And I was talking to him the other day, and he was talking about how the Ford car doesn't necessarily win, but it pushes very, very well, and everybody wants to hook up with him. And I thought it was incredibly insightful. I watched the race. I think he's right. He's a pretty smart guy with that stuff. So we got William Byron as our winner. Oh, another thing, in the I'm going to pimp my sport, Kevin Harvick, they did a clip on him, and he said, Daytona 500 is like a who's who in the royalty of NASCAR. And I was thinking to myself, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Listen to these last couple of winners. William Byron, Ricky Stenhouse, Austin Cindric, please. Michael McDowell, got Denny Hamlin back-to-back, good racer. Austin Dillon, please. Kurt Busch, I think the verdict's still out on him. Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth. But then we go to Trevor Bayne, Jamie McMurray. Then we get Kenseth again, Ryan Newman, Harvick. I would say, honestly, for such a big race, there's really not a pedigree. This isn't like Earnhardt at Talladega, where some guys just really know how to win there. This is like a who's who of, hey, whatever, good luck, All right, that's my recap. William Byron's your winner. He came in at 25-1. He hit the board. And I hope you all had tickets on him because it was a nice hit. I wish I would have had it, but maybe next year, right? All right, if you could, please hit the like and subscribe button and leave your comments. Who did you have in the race? All right. You take care, and I'll talk to you soon.